Now, just this thought came to me that, us teachers, we think that we are gardeners. We look after all the flowers in the garden. What do you think?
Well, frankly speaking, ma'am, I think teachers are hypnotists.
Oh, hypnotists, like we can tell people's mind?
Not exactly the one who actually can make people fall asleep so easily.
Not really. Everybody's awake. Everybody's listening. Thank you very much. The next speaker is a personal favorite of mine. I've been really fond of him, and he's a visionary leader. He's unconventional and dares to defy what has not been done. Believer in collaboration, humility, and a person whose Facebook post says, "I have 200 passion fruit plants. Do you want some?" He is the real change maker.
He is the founder of Global Academy Tourism and Hospitality Education. He is Mr. Khem Lakai. He is also an advisor to Nepal's Sector Skill Committee. He is a board member of EOFA. He is Nepal's ambassador for World Innovation Forum and executive committee member for Pata Nepal chapter. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Khem Lakai on stage for his presentation on disrupting hospitality education.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is not my original voice. I flew from Zurich to Kathmandu, and the moment I wanted to say something and my voice was lost. But thanks to our hot lemon honey, I recovered part of it, and I'm going to do some justice with that, I hope. Without further ado, I think the stage is set, and Ms. Nuri Quantus put it beautifully that we don't need to work hard on what Nepal is. And I'm not going to say much about it because it's the epicenter of adventure tourism. And then our politician, including Prime Minister, mentioned yesterday that yes, we've got this, that, everything we all know, and we are petrifying the same statement over and again. Not even once the importance of human capital and how we develop is not very much a priority here. And when I see an international stage, that's what we talk about first. The younger generation, creating younger generation, and how do we train them? So let me start with my first video. Since I have lost my voice, so I resort to some videos. So, say,
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir mes chers amis. En vous accueillant pour la 12e fois au
We're very fortunate to be the captains and leaders in our industry who have been given this wonderful opportunity to give opportunities to the next generation, to come up with innovation to make our industry a better place.
Tonight's first trophy will be given to a French hotel high school for its innovative training program. This award is backed by the French Ministry of Education. Our second award is for innovation in a training program at a management school. But the jury felt it deserved a special tribute for its most courageous enterprise, It's created from scratch a hotel school in Nepal. Nepal, of course, a country which is opening up to tourism a little more each day, and so truly needs human resources. So tonight we salute the presence of the ambassador of Nepal, who's here with us tonight. We'd also like to call Mr. Khem Lakai up on stage. Mr. Khem Lakai is the founder and general manager of GATE, the Global Academy of Tourism and Hospitality Education. He came all the way from Kathmandu to be here with us tonight at the Hospitality Awards, and a special diploma will be awarded to him by George Paniotisa. Mr. Lakai, please come up on stage. There's George. Hey, voilà. Please come up on stage. And can you take a picture, please? There you go. Many congratulations.
Okay, that was much about the glory of, to compensate my voice. But the story just begins there, it's not the ending. The story is a beautiful country. The history of hotel industry goes back only in 1951, the first hotel. And until 1956, we didn't have a hotel that was designed as a hotel, 1956. So not very much. And if you count back in 2010, we only had 10 five-star hotels. And the number of four-star hotels, some closed and so on and so forth. But now, you know, including those visionary business people who started a hotel, and now in next 2 years, we'll have more five-star hotels than ever we had in the history. But then, imagine a small, beautiful village like this in Nepal, and this is everywhere. And we also heard now that this is the future of tourism. Tourists would like to spend more time in these beautiful villages, and we consider that as a course, but that is our opportunity. But how do we build on? We have our young people coming to Kathmandu, and those people who have come to Kathmandu leaving for abroad. Will that solve the problem? No. So the next point. This is the scenario of current hotel schools. 51 only in Kathmandu province number 3, and if you go 3 in province number 1, that is also very recent, and then not very much. Province number 5, 8. And this unequal distribution requires some kind of disruption. We need to change, convert our hotels as our lab, our schools. And the next one, there's a gap. You know the demographic situation in Nepal. Below 25 of age, we have almost 50% young people in this country. They need future. So a lot of them, I wish I had money to study and work. And there's another scenario. I have plenty of money. My parents have at least. But I don't want to work in Nepal, you know. And then that's the second scenario. And, you know, how do we divide this gap? You know, and how do we provide the skills, and you know, how do we tap into the potential youth, the passionate youth? That's how we started 2007, and I don't want to brag much about the school because you already know. And what would be important is, let me go back. How did we start? We have a vocational school in Nepalganj, and you know we have already made this a five-star hotel. Has within the facility we have the school, so we cater to the hotel, and young people get world-class opportunity. The second school is in Pokhara, and then Pokhara has exactly the same thing. We're coming with the guest rooms, and Bandipur, our whole town is our lab, where young people come from different part of the country, and they learn there, and then they educate here. This is the approach. So, what is next? How do we do that? How do we leverage from this? So, you see the statistics. I don't want to go much about this also, because tourism number is increased. And then, but look at this shortages forecast. 500,000 people will be shortage in our industry very soon. And if we don't do this, if we don't disrupt this, we'll have a shortage of skilled people, competent people here in the country. So, my suggestion is to indulge in a sustainable ecotourism. You need clean small hotels, guest house, eco-home to retain themselves in the village where they are from. Restaurant with organic and hygienic food and tea houses needs people. We don't need to bring them to Kathmandu. So we need to reach there and then we need to cater them. So youth work in a local business, hotels, guest house, tea shops. They go apprentice model. They go once a week to the school, and most of it from digital learning. And nowadays, one thing I'm not confused at all is we're boring them in the classroom. I already hear somebody saying, because classrooms are threatening our young people. The way they learn need to be reformed, and that's what we're going to adapt to. And the next one, it's thanks to the government. Now we have a national qualification framework, and there was no flexibility. If I enroll to bachelor's degree and I have to win bread, that was next to impossible. Why cannot these young people work at the same time study without worrying about the investment? The hotel industry wins, the young people wins, the parent wins. And so those, the permeability in each stage and each level is our future. And that's where we're heading. So this looks like I deliberately made it upside down, because the maximum number of people that enroll in a high school, it gets smaller and smaller in number. What we lack is an apprenticeship model, and we're going to pilot this. And then I really, really hope that they will replace this conventional model of +2 and bring that into a more hands-on training. And the next one, how does that human capital, convert into? No investment required for the parents. Youth start working and earning earlier, and then attracting talented, passionate youth for good career, saving youth from wasting their, not the time and not the resources. Local business, how do they benefit? All these 3 steps. What you need for young people is trust, empowerment, mentor, and nurture. And, we're looking at our statistics. This is the most now. And I would like to bring one context into this picture, because every hotel, trekking lodge, tea houses could be our lab. We could retain them, we could train them. And, what we need to also do is those who are training in Kathmandu, we need to collapse our boundaries. We really need to collapse our boundaries. And we need to, inculcate, nurture them with an ecological mindfulness, because the day we lose our nature, we lose everything. And this is not just a concern of Nepal, it is a concern of the world. We have seen from Mr. Dog this morning the glacier melting, and that's not very much of a concern in our part of the studies. And then to the champions of travel and tourism industry today, to me personally, travel and tourism is such an industry. If we have this sanity, if we have this better life today, wouldn't have been possible without. And so if we are to harness this and to hand over to the next generation, what we need to do is create a cohort of servant leaders. Because in our part of the world, service hasn't been as a prestigious job. We need to change it. We need to turn it into a pride. And then with this thing, we also need to diversify our, not just limiting to ABC and EVC as a trekking route, but the whole nation converts into a lab, convert into a destination, and this is how I see we are doing. And then another thing is, as a business, they need to invest into the young people. Those who cannot pay, for example, I can show you these 3 people, they invested on the vocational education and provided a scholarship. Imagine this was a dream. Then I don't want to go through this. What I want to do is the video, little video. Yes, I will show you and end my things, just to compensate my voice once again.
Nepal, a natural paradise, mystical, a Shangri-La, but it also has a dark side. Child labor is rampant. 3 million children have to work to survive. Every year, more than 21,000 Nepalese girls and young people are trafficked in Nepal and across the border. It takes just a day from being in the safety of their home to being transported and trapped into bonded exploitation. Bim lives in the slums of Pokhara and has been working in the sand mines since a young child. He's trying to support his young family now, but this back-breaking work, carrying 70 kilos of sand for 10 hours a day, pays less than $6 a day. It's nearly impossible to survive.
मेरो पनि एउटा सपना छ केही बन्ने राम्रो काम गर्ने केही सिक्ने अवसर पाए मेरो सपना पूरा हुने थियो.
The Fab School is a new innovative hospitality vocational training center. It provides top-class training for those who desperately need a second chance.
Gate College Global Academy of Tourism and Hospitality Education has provided training and education to over 3,000 students. We are delighted to work with Right for Children to provide the opportunity through Fab School.
म पोखराको सुगमवासीमा बस्छु. मेरो बाबाले जामी काम गर्नुहुन्छ. आर्थिक स्थिति कमजोर भएको कारणले मेरो पढाइ पुरा हुन सकेन. गरिबीको कारणले गर्दा मेरो दुईटा बहिनीले आत्महत्या समेत गरे. म घरको जेठी छोरी हुँ, त्यसैले सम्पूर्ण जिम्मेवारी म माथि छ. घरको आवश्यकता पुरा गर्नको लागि मैले सेल्स गर्लको पनि काम गरेँ. मलाई धेरै दुःख कष्टहरू भयो. आफूसित सहयोग पाएर आज मैले फ्याब स्कुलमा तालिम लिने मौका पाएको छु. विगत 4 महिनादेखि मैले हाउसकिपिङको ट्रेनिङ गर्दै आएको छु. ट्रेनिङपछि मैले राम्रो होटलमा काम गर्न पाउँछु भन्ने आशा लिएको छु. राम्रो काम गरेर पैसा कमाएर मेरो परिवारलाई सुकुम्बासीबाट निकाल्ने मेरो इच्छा छ. अनि त्यो दिन मेरो सपना पुरा हुनेछ.
After their training, we provide guaranteed safe jobs with highly recognized top hotel groups in Nepal and abroad. Prithvi, a former street child, is now training and working to fulfill his dream in becoming a top chef.
Thank you. I think I have shared my dreams. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Khem sir, can we please have you on stage, please? Thank you so much for the lovely presentation. I think you are the voice to the voiceless, even if you've lost your voice. Now I would like to invite Mr. Narendra Bhatta, President of Himalayan Rescue Association, to give the token of appreciation to Mr. Khem Lakai.